Hello, my name is Shadley. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Merina Kingdom. At this stage, while I'm recording this, the latest patch is already up. I'm going to continue this all the way to the end first. Well, I mean, admittedly, we've got like, what, 16 years ago? A bit shy of 17. But anyway, let's have a look at a few things real quick. So I was looking at the market prices a little bit, and I noticed that well, actually, if we have a look at the balance, we've got a massive amount of services, first of all. That means that we could probably reduce our service production a little bit. Admittedly, it's not necessarily going to be good for our GDP, but I'm sure that will be fine regardless. So if we go back to the market stalls, it's going to reduce the services production by almost 2,000. But that's going to be saving us a lot of money in the long run, I reckon. Although it's not going to be immediate, but that's still going to be potentially a good one. We're currently researching the iron class, and I think after that one, what we should be doing is probably getting the reinforced concrete at least. And then in the society, maybe after that, get the identification documents. It's not currently spreading, but, you know, we already got a decent chunk of it, so I'm sure that it'll be fine. Let's unpause. I think we can probably try going on speed 4 again. Donation of knowledge. That's a wonderful idea. So we get a university in there, so that's actually going to increase our innovation. Well, with the university that we are already building, we should be getting over 120. We could have up to 129.9 innovation now, which is already pretty decent. And hopefully we can increase the literacy rate a little bit further. It's only 53.3% right now, so I don't think reaching the 70% is really in the cards, but we'll see what we can do. Also, I believe there was some of the highlights, so the iron trade over here from Spain isn't really importing a lot, so we can cancel that one. If we look at the balances in here, so there should be a lot of furniture, right? Actually, no, there is almost 9,000, or over 9,000 extra, so let's export a bit of furniture. It looks like the British market would be buying a lot. That'd be a lot of money from there. Sure, so we'll do that one, and that should be giving us a pretty good income overall. Now, I don't think we'll be doing too much conquest at this stage. I mean, Zanzibar is something that I do plan on conquest, or trying to conquer at least. For that, we need to wait for the infamy to drop just a little bit further. They don't have a large military. Oh, elections are done. So Radical Party is the biggest one, then Agrarian Party, then Free Trade, Social Democratic, and Conservative Party. And I believe that makes the... yeah, I believe this is the most... actually, oh... interesting. If we bring the industrialists instead of the rural party, or rural folk, we'll have a little bit more legitimacy. Okay, so we'll do that one. I don't know if there's any more laws that we could realistically change, though. I mean, we could put in, like, colonial exploitation or something, but that would radicalize the rural folk, and I'd rather not do that. There's no primary school... oh, right, we haven't invented human rights. Alright, then. Well, I guess no primary school for the kids, then. We could technically speaking try... no, not really. That would radicalize the devout landowners. Well, only the devout landowners. To be fair, there's about 20% of our population, a bit more than that, actually. Or at least the political support, so to speak, so we might not want to do that right now. So GDP is currently at 85 million. I think it went down a tiny bit with the change in the service production. But I think overall that's still going to be just fine. We are still losing a bit of cash, but at the same time we're building a lot of things, especially now that we're building a lot of oil rigs, especially in places like Yemen. And apparently one more in Oromia as well. So that means that the oil production that we have is going to increase drastically. If we look at the market prices so the oil price is still one of the biggest ones. And that is at least, you know, we're managing to cover some of the costs there. Not necessarily all that much. Also, I think we are getting a railway in here already. We could probably get another one just in case. Just add it into the list. I mean, the first one is already underway. And then if we have a look at the private construction, there is quite a bit of things underway. Now, of course, things could probably be even better. Right, so we've got 122 innovation right now, so we could probably afford getting another... oh yeah, we could afford getting another 2 universities. Also building a lot of coal mines right now. Do we have any universities in... we don't have a lot of pops in Yemen. At least not a lot of excess pops. Alright then, we've got 16 levels tooling workshop. Alright then, that might be a little bit of an excess, I dare say. Also, we could maybe reduce the tobacco plantation by 1 level to reduce the sort of deficit of workers there. And then we could maybe, well, we've got some room for more plantation or agriculture in there in general. Right, the chemicals aren't really making a lot of money. Oh, and we're now losing 20,000 per week. Alright, well that's not great. But regardless, as soon as well, eventually once we're done with the construction, with the government construction, let's just say, we will be making a lot of money again. And while we're currently paying 12,000 per week for interest, it's not really going to be all that. Oh, and we've got some additional expenses. What was this? Oh, asylum revisions. How long is that going to last? 20 months. Okay, so a year and 8 months. Alright then, well, that means that in about 1921 it should be gone, and that's going to be another 17,000 saved, so actually that's almost going to turn even already by then. Now the GDP hasn't really started growing yet, but I suppose we've got such a massive... Oh, actually, I just realized something. We're building all these oil rigs and we don't have the workers over here in the first place. Plus we might have a bit of an overflow... Oh yeah, we got way too many infrastructure in here, I dare say. So we could probably reduce the railway, because this is costing us a lot of money. So if we reduce the levels over here to, say, 20, that's going to free up a decent bit of employment. That's 20,000 employees that are then relieved, and there's still over 300 infrastructure max in here. So we could definitely start reducing that probably even further. I mean, it's currently still losing money, apparently, but it is being subsidized. Okay, so the subsidization is costing us a tiny bit less now. Now, that does mean a bit less transportation, but that's not really the issue. I think we are actually going to reduce this to 15 levels total. That means a bit more turmoil, perhaps. But the infrastructure levels are still going to be just fine. And now we're saving a bit more money in terms of the subsidies, at least. I think that is actually going to be quite useful. Anarchism unlocked. Alright then. Don't think we'll be switching to anarchy if we can avoid it, to be fair. Right, so we do have our 32 flotillas already. We should be getting up to 40 total, to be fair. We built the 40 up, or up to 40 naval bases in Madagascar. And then we've got quite a bit of troops in here that could probably do landing. So I wanted to have a look at... Oh, right, we don't actually have a lot of infantry right now. So let's have a look at Zanzibar's troops, shall we? We've got 5 plus 11. And what is the quality? Line infantry with mobile artillery on the regulars, and conscripts are the same. But they do have the first aid at least, okay. But I think what I can do, I'm hoping at least, there's a bit of rivalries going on. So if I was to just conquer state Zanzibar, there shouldn't be anyone joining against me. As long as we keep the infamy sort of low enough, we should not have any problems. We could activate this one. It might be a little bit of a penalty in trying to attack there then, but I think it'll be fine. Oh, there's a lot of people improving relations with us now. But at least we'll get Zanzibar. Well, there's actually a lot unemployed there. Huh. Right, and then we got the flotillas over here. Oh, it can't... Right, we need to promote this one, don't we? There we go, so now we've got 33 at least. In the fleet. Still not enough to do the landing with, but, you know... It's at least a little bit less penalties. Did we activate that one yet? It is on standby. Okay, good. So we did activate some armies. And we're still getting a lot of oil production. How is the oil looking right now, anyway, on the market? Still a deficit of 10,000. Wow. This is getting worse and worse. Even though I'm increasing the production more and more. Admittedly, the GDP hasn't really been improving. But yeah, I don't think we'll be doing a war against Great Britain or anything like that. Not in this playthrough, anyway. Although, if we were to get France to help me, then there would be a chance. Not necessarily a great chance, but a chance. I mean, we'd probably need to get a little bit more troops in Ethiopia, for example. Actually, speaking of troops in Ethiopia, I am going to recruit another general there. Ethiopia, ooh, that's a pretty good defender. Arrogant, but stalwart defender, so that gives plus 10 defense. And expert defensive strategy, so that's 30% more defense. Yeah, that seems like a good one. So now we should have a bit less of penalty in doing the landing. I mean, we'll still have the 25% regardless. But at least we can reduce some of the other things in there. So how many did we put in another university to be built? No, I was thinking about building one in Yemen, but I suppose the worker shortage there is pretty high. Although, I suspect that the population increases there fairly high. It is 15.1 standard of living, so that's probably going to be improving the situation there even further with each one of these that we build. Let's just double check real quick on the oil rigs. So we haven't actually built any yet. We are using the tanker cars already, so that'll be good. We're going to be losing a decent bit of money while this war is ongoing. Well, once the war is ongoing, rather. Which, to be fair, it's not going to take all that much longer. And I don't think anyone's going to join in. I mean, there's nothing else that I can put in as a war goal anyway, so, you know, that makes life a little bit easier. And the infamy is already dropping at pretty decent speed. And now everyone's just declaring neutrality, as they should. So we'll send in this one, the Brave, Pillager, Explorer, and Celebrity Commander, so... Well, I suppose the Brave does help a decent bit with the reduced morale loss, at least. Okay, now we don't... Okay, why is demand... Glassworks are requiring a lot of oil. Okay, fair enough. I mean, there's not too much I can do about that. I mean, the French are just demanding way too much oil, that's all. Right, so now we've got that active. Let's go ahead and take this one. Actually, no. We need to do it with the Navy first, don't we? So that one's going to do the invasion into Zanzibar with the 40 Battalion Army, which is fully mobilized. I do like the fact that they added in the, like, if it's mobilized as general or not, at least, you know, it gives a bit of an idea of which army to utilize. So low market access pretty much everywhere right now. So that's probably just the shipping lanes not working correctly. Oil and coal are low or high price. And then we've got the lead market that is allegedly not profitable. I suppose it might be. Yeah, it's not quite as profitable. It's not a massive deficit either, to be fair. Is there any other trade routes that I could do in the meanwhile? We've got quite a few ongoing. I'm selling quite a bit of, actually not that much furniture. I was expecting quite a bit more. Anything else that we've got plenty that we could sell? I mean, grain, I'm pretty sure I'm already selling to a few places. Clothing? Am I selling? I am selling clothing? I could sell more clothing. Who's willing to buy some clothing? British market? Sure, I mean, it's a pretty good profitability. We're doing so much trade with the British that if there's a war between France and Britain, then our economy is going to suffer a lot. Right, so how much longer do we need to wait for the invasion? That's 25 days, so there's about 3 more weeks. I suppose that's not too bad. In the meanwhile, we are getting the Ironclad in 7 to 10 weeks. After that, we'll increase the construction speed a bit further. And then I'm probably going to... Well, we'll get the identification documents just for the extra taxation. Oh, they declare a rivalry. Well, that's not exactly a surprise, I do admit. How many Ulrichs do we have in here already? 3. They are hiring. They're hiring pretty quickly, mind you. So I suppose, well, we're still making a massive amount of money there as well. So I suppose that's not a surprise. I'm guessing that might start increasing the pull for migration in here. We're still losing a little bit pops through migration, but that's probably going to start turning around very shortly. So, oh, we got a naval combat in here. Oh, they had 2 flotillas. We got a bit of a plunder on our side, but I think we are still going to win this. Dangerous equipment. Tooling workshops in North Madagascar. I've seen an increase in workplace injury due to increased mechanization and poor safety regulations. No, we can't pull brakes on... Oh, actually. Trade unions already hate us quite a bit. No, but that's manufacturing injury throughput minus 50% for 5 years. No, we can't pull brakes. Trade unions can hate us a little bit more. Right, so now our landing is happening. We've got 4-to-1 ratio of battalions in the combat. So even though, you know, we're doing a landing, we've got a lot of penalties in there. I think the results are quite clear, though. We are going to be winning this. I suppose what I could do, actually, is activate this one. If it splits the front into 2, then I can send these ones into the other side. And there we go, we got the ironclads. So now, actually, there's a few things that we need to do. First of all, naval bases, switch to ironclads. Ports, well, actually, ports we've already done, but then we'll go for the shipyards. Switch to steamships. That's going to require even more coal. I suppose the clipper price is actually going to go up a lot, but that's alright. And then we will build some military shipbuilding as well. And now we're going to switch to popularly traded, so that means a bit more capitalist. Not a lot, mind you, but a few more. There we go. Let's return to the combat. They're down to 2,000 men versus our 30,000 men. Or 32,000 men to be precise. So yeah, that's probably going to be a victory. Now we're paying 30,000 per week. Quite a large chunk of that, to be fair, is for the military. Especially the military goods and all that. Oh, the monitor is now spreading to us. Okay. And that is to say the ship, not computer monitors. But over here, so that's going to be even better fleet soon enough. Well, I mean, sure, if we can catch up with the fleets a bit more. Okay, so now that's spread. Oh, right, it's actually using the troops from Sanji already because it's the same theater. I'm just gonna send this one to advance over there. Should be able to arrive there. Well, it's about 2 weeks' time. It's not too bad, though. And we're getting more and more oil rigs, then we're going to get a lot of coal mines, then some government administration. Now we've got GDP of 87.6 million, so at least it's slowly growing up again. I think we're going to try to reach at least, well, I'm sure that we'll reach 100 million before the end of the playthrough. Right, so that's going to be another glorious victory, and this time we've got quite a bit of advantage in here. Because we're no longer doing a landing. Oh, there we go, so that's done. I suppose the smaller army can be sent back as a standby. Don't need to be bringing all the troops in here. Taking attrition and all that. So, I'm guessing they might be willing to take the peace deal soon. Not quite yet, but they're losing their support very rapidly. And now we're still paying or losing £28,000 per week. So there's going to be at least a little bit more territory in here. Now, trying to attack Portugal is probably not going to happen. Because they're part of the Austro-Hungarian market. So they've got defended back with Austro-Hungary. They've got alliance with Australia. Oh, actually. They're part of the... So how is the Austro-Hungary's military? It's probably okay. It's quite sizable. And I'm guessing they got fairly good quality as well. So if we have a look at, for example, over here. Trench infantry, shrapnel artillery, motorized reconnaissance, and machine gunners. Yeah, it's a bit better than what we have. So we cannot really fight them. But at least we can take Zanzibar. So that's going to give us... Oh. Oh, is Burundi having a civil war? Yes, they are. Okay. Well, Germany intervening there. And then it didn't actually happen, the war. I might build... Oh, actually, how's the infrastructure levels in here? They're getting better. We're going to get another railway in there, though. Just for the safe... Or just to be on the safe side. Right, so that should be another... Oh, mass immigration. From one of the Dutch colonies once again. Probably in Africa, because it's all the African cultures that we are accepting. Ah, we can declare more interest. Right, we can... Oh, we can have up to 5. Okay. Okay. We could put one in Niger and one in North Africa, so that would cover most of the continent. Or we could put one in, like, Persia or North India. Ooh, or actually, if we go for somewhere where we could open up a bit more location to trade in, like if we put in, let's see, Rhine would open up some trade markets there. The Baltic would open up a little bit, although not all that many, actually. If I go for Balkans, I can open up... Well, Ottomans I could already trade with. But I will open up Austro-Hungary. Is there any other that could... Actually, if I go for Poland, it's going to be Russia, Germany, and Austro-Hungary. Send one there. I suppose I will put one in Rhine. Just for trade purposes. We should be able to make a lot more money, and the trading is actually quite profitable, usually. Now, let's have a look at things. So, grain is something we've got a lot. Is there any good productivity trade or routes over here? Not really. I mean, that would be a little bit. But 5 bureaucracy for 400 tariffs is not a lot. Admittedly, with the free trade, it's always going to be a little bit reduced. What about cloth? Or clothing, sorry. Not large quantities. We can probably sell some fabrics. Not really. Okay. What about liquor? Okay, there's few... Well, transfer markets, how much would that be? Oh. 3,000, okay. I'm guessing these are all pretty good profitability overall. So I'm just going to take all of these. Well, at least some of these. Stop with that one, the rest of these aren't quite as good. Then tools. Oh, we actually got a really good balance of tools now. Hold on a minute. Were we importing tools? No. So yeah, tools could definitely be one of the things to export. Although, the quantities are quite small. I mean, the Russian market, no, that wouldn't really be profitable trade. I was looking at liquor, wasn't I? We already started a lot of liquor trade. Groceries is another one that we could maybe export. Not a lot. Okay, so not going to touch that then. Then I suppose another thing that I should have a look at is the things that we need the most. So coal. Is there any good import routes for coal? Not really. There's some that aren't quite as bad as others, but not particularly good. Oh, Confederate market. Okay. Ooh. That would be a lot of profitability and money from the tariffs. Sure, we'll do that one. Okay, so that's a few trade routes to start taking place, and I think they're not quite ready to give up this war yet, but I mean, we are fighting probably the last battle of this war, and then we'll have Zanzibar. We've got way too many construction works going on. Although they are being built relatively quickly, I dare say. Although Yemen's construction efficiency isn't all that great. Is that because turmoil? I mean, turmoil is probably doing some problems there. Do we? Oh, we don't have construction sectors there either. How's the migration going on in here right now? It's still slightly negative. But I think it's, well, it's not getting too much worse at least. And there we go, we can take Zanzibar. And we've got 91 million GDP now. Oh, the standard of living over here is horrendous. We use the public trams for sure. Market stalls, government administration, we can put in the standard filing system. So I'm just going to go through these, it's going to take a few moments. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. Oh, right. I forgot to switch the whaling things to steam power, so that's actually going to give us a decent bit of extra oil. Let's do that one. And I think I went through oh, right, that could be switch over. There's a few things in here. We're using the water tube boilers, but I don't know if I actually should. They're going to just employ a bit more people right now. So a little bit on the, I mean, especially with stuff like motor industries, which isn't really employing that many people. So I can just employ more people overall, which of course means... Actually, I don't know if it's going to be making things that much better, let's be honest, but maybe it helps. But considering how expensive the coal is right now, that's probably going to be for the best. Right, now that's out of the way. So is there is rubber plantations that we can build in here. They are building quite a few things. Now the unemployment is probably going to start plummeting because everything's going to be able to feed into a somewhat healthy market. Oh, and we've got a lot of bureaucracy. Okay, that means that Gondar, oh, that would be 900 now. We've got quite a few of those levels being built, all the buildings over here after the coal mines. So I think we'll be fine. I mean, it's going to cost us a lot of money right now, but once we stop building ourselves, or building stuff ourselves, it should be... Oh, is there... Okay, no, that's just the Burundi Revolution is still ongoing. I thought the Germans intervened, but I suppose they can't really reach there, can they? Not with the British encircling all of this. So we did gain quite a bit of radicals there, but the radical numbers are going down, and I'm pretty sure that the standard of living over here started at 10.0. I have a feeling that that is going to start climbing up very rapidly, which of course then is going to start reducing the radicals even further. And GDP is probably going to hit 100 million before the end of today. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but I have a feeling that it's got a pretty good chance of doing that. Especially with all of these hiring more people. Well, a lot of them hiring more people. Which definitely does make a difference. How many... Right, we do have some barracks in here. I'm just going to build a few more levels of that. Go for like 10 total in here. So we'll have 30 in Zanji. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be enough, but it's a step to the correct direction, I dare say. And there is oil shortage a little bit for the food industry. I'm just going to switch these back to canneries then. You know what? I'm going to switch that in all of the food industries right now. Go just back to canneries. That's going to save us a lot of money in oil. Of course, that it does reduce the grocery production a decent bit. But I think that is going to be, like, I suspect it might reduce the GDP a little bit. Although maybe not all that much, all things considered. And I've got 130 innovation. I think we can't have any more than that right now. How many universities did we inherit? 6 universities. Okay, we don't need to build any more universities. That's quite obvious. I mean, we can, but we don't have to. And there we go. 100 million GDP. Now, admittedly, we are having quite a bit of unrealized taxes in here. But by the end of the year, we should be getting rid of the minus 17,000 additional expenses that we have ongoing right now. So that should already make a bit of a difference. I'm getting some of the coal mines. So how bad is the situation in terms of coal in the market? We've got a lack of 17,000. The price isn't actually that high overall. Oil is a lot more pressing matter, quite frankly. But there's not too much I can do about it. I'm guessing the Okay, yeah, the French are having some sort of issues with the logistics, clearly. Oh, and Germany is fighting a war against Russia, and I believe Austria as well. Let's see. Okay, so it's Russia and Austria-Hungary versus Britain and Germany. Not exactly the pairing I was expecting to see in 1920s, to be fair. I suppose everything's possible. Is there anything else that could be found in here? I doubt it. No, not really. Well, alright then. Uganda is a bit of relations. Again, we can't really do anything with this. We do have at least one defensive pack in there still. You know, Ankole. I think that defensive pack can go. We don't really need it. It's costing us a lot of points in there. They are still improving relations, and that's fine. I don't plan on sort of being antagonistic towards them. It's just kind of none of my business region at this stage. So, I do believe we are actually out of time for this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, got the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.